have like 8, 9, 13% conversion rate, this is relatively high. I'm also bragging because we did this site, so we got to brag a little bit now. So let's look at organic search. So organic search is, again, somebody who comes in on Google and they're searching and they find a link on Google search results and they click on that link and come to your site. So that's 2/3 of their traffic. Most Google organic search is people looking for T-Shack. I mean, it's looking for your name. That's, again, that's always, for any site, that's always what it's going to be. But it's a very healthy conversion rate. 8.6% is not anything to be ashamed of at all for anyone wanting to come in and, 8.6% is great. For people that come in on Google and finish, that is nothing to be sad about. Direct is even great. People come directly to them. So they may have found them on some kind of link, and then clicked on that link and come to their site. Maybe an internal email from another, so let's say, we'll talk about this in a second. Let's say the Texas Department of Criminal Justice sent out an email saying, hey, if you want a cheap home loan, click on this link and go there. So you're not going to see it as any one of your email campaigns. It will be shown as direct because it's coming from somebody else's email campaign. And so, again, very good conversion rate from direct traffic. Direct is like they type in the URL or they just, something like that. Referral. Referral traffic is they find a link on another website, click on that link, and jump from that link to your website. So we find 13%. That's actually very relatively high. I very rarely find 13%. And so we're going to go in there and look at that because this is information that is actionable. We can understand by looking at these metrics, we can understand what to do with it. Now look at social and email. Pathetic. 2.5% conversion rate, 2.27 conversion rate. But think about it. The way that they got their email address is for people that already probably came to the site and already registered. So you just have to know what you're measuring, and just know if somebody's on social, they probably already came, they probably already dealt with them, they probably already filled out the form, and so nobody who's already filled out the form and then comes back on social is going to do it again. So the conversion rate's going to be low. But I would also say, I would love to be able to hear some really great stories about using social to, and using social advertising is one thing, but just using social media like generally blogging and things like that to generate donations, it's really hard. It's really, really hard, and we haven't completely cracked that either. So if you have another nonprofit that is saying, we have a 10% conversion rate on people that come in, well, you tell me about them, and I want to go figure out what their secret is, because it's actually really hard. And then paid search. So we do advertising, we do Google Ad Grants. By the way, as many of you know, they do offer $10,000, Google offers $10,000 a month in free AdWords advertising to 501c3 nonprofits. Tell all your nonprofit friends about that. It's really, really good to get in on that.
I have a question about social.
Yes?
Does that bundle advertising on social plus social media posts, or what?
It's a very good question. You have to manually go in and put a tracking tag on the URL to tell it that it is advertising. So what will happen, so you will actually see this now. Are you doing Facebook advertising?
I don't think so. Oh, we do sometimes?
Yeah. So in Facebook advertising, they will actually say, they give an option, I can't even remember what the option is called, but they'll say, hey, click on this and you can put tracking in. And it will say the 3 things are source, medium, campaign. So campaign is just, anyway, if you just fill out that stuff, and it will get tracked to Google Analytics.
And it'll split it out. So you're saying right now this is bundled?
Right now, yes. Right now it probably is bundled.
Okay.
And they're also not doing display advertising. So what I would generally do is call it, if it is like Facebook advertising, Twitter, whatever, I would just call it display. So that would be a separate channel than paid search, because search is search. Sure. So I generally find it's better to kind of split this out. But at least this client at that time wasn't doing display.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
On the conversion rate, is that, because I've gone to this channels page and I never understand, how does it know what is being converted? So is it that you set up a goal and that's what it knows?
Mm-hmm.
What is it testing against?
Yes.
When you first come to that page, it's just random conversion rates, and I'm like, well, how do you know?
So there's probably, so you have to go find out, exactly, you have to find out what goal is actually being tracked. Okay. And it's very common for nonprofit websites to have some random goal that somebody put in place that is measuring nothing.
Okay.
And so
it's tracking it, and then that's what the goal drop down is on the conversions that you can go and change it. Okay. So it's trying to do it against something.
Yes, it's trying to do it against something. So if you give it a goal, that I mean, it will try to it'll track you something.
How do you know, Google? Like, what,
Yeah.
how do you know on this entire website what's being converted?
Yeah, and it's very, very common for people to be tracking stuff. And
Okay.
what are they tracking? Who
Yeah.
knows? Very common. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do, because, hey, what I first want to figure out is why 13% conversion rate on referral, because that never happens. So let's go look at it. This is a really cool example because it's very actionable, and that's what I love about it. So first of all, one thing that you need to know about TSHAC, because they serve low-income and underserved populations, there are some underserved populations out there like teachers, like police officers and corrections officers. And so these are under a program called Texas Heroes. So if you were a Texas hero, you could qualify for these low-income loans. And so there is a link on the Texas American Federation of Teachers website with a 15% conversion rate. There is a link on the TDCJ, as Texas Department of Criminal Justice. They changed websites that you see at the bottom, Texas Department of Criminal Justice, 21%, 23%. That's huge. So, and think about it. If somebody, they sees, hey, if you really want to get a great rate on a loan, and this is on a government site, and it's taking you, it's linking you off to you, that is golden. People are telling you this is the best rate to get internally, fantastic. And so the thing is that there's all sorts of other organizations they just need to reach out and talk to. And it's like, can you please develop that relationship, add a link to our site so we can get some of this stuff. So I think it's really helpful for nonprofits as well, is do you have referral traffic that's generating donations? If so, where is it coming from? Is there a news article that is talking about, and there's all sorts of people that are coming in and donating. That's great. Figure out what those things are. So another big one that you can see here, so you see Texas Association of Realtors, Houston Association of Realtors, National Association of Realtors. You got 9%, 9%, 32% up here. Huge, like really decent conversion rates. Where's Austin? Where's Dallas? Where's the other cities? Just reach out to them. This is the stuff where this gets super actionable, where you can use referring traffic to figure out like what to do next. But then they also have all these lenders. Hey, do they need to work with lenders to get links from them? Maybe not so much. So it's just like 0.24% conversion rate is not really great. So I think that pretty much answers that question. So how does referral data influence strategy? So one of the other things that may happen, if you're using Google's display network, and when I mean Google's display network, it's like Google partners with all sorts of websites, and if you see advertising anywhere online, like if you I go to Rotten Tomatoes all the time because I look up movies, and there's all sorts of advertising you see on the top or on the side. Most likely, Google, that you can get on Rotten Tomatoes or CNN or whatever other sites by going through Google's display network to get in there, because they say, hey, we want some of your money, Google, and so they'll participate in that whole network. But if you say, we want to be found on this one website, we want to advertise like on Nonprofit Times, which nobody does. Sorry, that was mean. Was that mean? Was that mean? Sorry, I think back in the day, I remember people were saying, nobody ever reads the Nonprofit Times. So if that was mean and somebody's like a big Nonprofit Times, I apologize. That was probably not a good thing for me to do. I apologize. See, I'm looking at the camera. So let's say you're writing content and you want people to pick it up and people are linking to your content. You can find out, hey, what content is working that people are linking to. That they're saying, hey, check out this content on this website. Let's just skip over, if you have an event, you have a big event and you've made a big splash in news and you want people in news to write about it, you can look at it here. If you're doing display advertising on specific sites, you would find it in here. None of y'all will be contributing to forums, that it's not really relevant. So let's look at some more information about channels. So we come back to channels, let's look at organic search. So one of the things that you're going to see, the first report that you get is here. And this is a useless report because it doesn't tell you anything. And so always click on landing page after you get here. This keyword, by the way, Google blocks your ability to see about 99%, or pretty much, no, actually it's not 100%. They do not let you see the keywords that people use to come to your site through this report. It's really weird, so I don't even know why people use it. But there's another way to find that out. But anyway, click on landing page. This is one of the most useful reports to know whether or not search engine optimization, which is what I do most of my time, which is helping websites to get found online, how it's actually working. So one of the first things that you see on this landing page report is, so what people will do, organic search landing pages, is people go on Google, they Google something like first-time homebuyer grant, ton of search for first-time homebuyer grant, and they see your link and they click on their link and they go to your website. So look at this. Even over the home page, so even over people that are looking for T-Shack, people are finding them from, for first-time homebuyer grants. That's this page. Almost 10% conversion rate. Look at the percentage, like, what is that, almost twice as much as even the home page itself. So you need to know what pages people are converting on. What pages are they finding on your website, landing on, and they're like, this is fantastic, of course I'm going to donate. Of course I'm going to take the next step. This is another service for down payment assistance here. So down payment assistance, first-time homebuyer grants are the big things that they talk about. But here are your heroes pages again, teachers. So we created pages because they said, hey, we have heroes, but they didn't create individual pages. So we have pages like teacher home loans, police officer home loans, and they've done really well. And so when people land on this page from Google, 13% conversion. There's the Heroes program, 11% conversion. So again, this sort of stuff is really important to find out if you are optimizing your content, if you're helping your content to get found on Google, what is working? What else can be done to improve that? So one of the things that I also love to be able to do is look at traffic year over year by month. So if you don't do this, if you say, I'm going to look at traffic year over year by day, you're going to see a whole bunch of fighting squiggles. You ever seen that? Like it's just a whole year of data by day. It gets to a whole year of data and it's like all I see are just a whole bunch of squiggles. So look at it by month, by year. And so one of the things that you're going to see, which is really important, is that you're going declining. So this is like October, November, December, boom! Huge jump in January, and this same thing happened the year before. It is really important to know how your traffic is seasonal. So we talked about this a little bit before, but if your traffic is, if you really jump because of a conference or from an event or from a big fundraising campaign or whatever, you need to know that and you need to account that into your metrics. If you always have a huge jump in traffic in January and you then kind of have a bit of a decline in February, you need to know that. You need to be able to plan for that. Or else your bosses are going to say, you did a fantastic job in January, and then February are going to come back and beat you. So the one thing that you didn't see here, though, is that this is also actionable because you can see, oh, well, after January, things kind of decrease, but look at the rate of decrease. This is showing a problem. So blue, as you can see, is this year. Orange is the previous year. So it came down like normal right after January, but then it's sliding. It's a very slow slide, and this is very clear that they need to fix something because their traffic is slowly decreasing over time, and it is impacting their goals. And that was, yeah. So anyway, this is like the hidden little gem. One thing that you have to do, this is all in here, so you don't have to write this down. Google Search Console, it's another platform. I apologize. Google has a lot of platforms. If you can link Google Search Console with Google Analytics, just Google it. I want to link Search Console with Google Analytics. It will tell you some information. It will not allow you to link those keywords to actual goals, to actual things that people do on the site. But you can find what are the top things that people are searching on your site, like first-time homebuyer grants and down payment assistance and all those sorts of things. So, and this is where you find this here. I should have told you this before, but I am now including over here at the left where you find it in the navigation. So you don't have to go, where did he say that was again? And so you can go find that when you get these slides after. So, how does search data influence strategy? You can, if you have pages like we saw, down payment assistance, first-time home grants pages, if they're not doing as well, why are they not? So what are the pages that are doing well? Let's improve those. Let's make more pages like that. If you have blog posts, maybe you want to start writing more blog posts about things that people are searching for, so you'll get more organic search traffic, so you'll get more donations. So that's how search data can also help you influence your strategy. You can capitalize on seasonal engagement. If you know that a lot of people are really going to donate in 1 year, in 1 month, then you really want to make sure that you got everything in place before that. And you can also find out, hey, these keywords are working. I need to make sure to focus on keywords like that. So, social networks. Again, what I'm not doing with this particular report is I'm not talking a lot about goal completion, because there's really not a lot of great data about goal completion that I found with a lot of social networks and most of our clients. It's really tough. So again, very normal that a lot of the traffic out there is Facebook. Many of you may have most traffic on Twitter or Pinterest. It's relatively rare. Almost, great majority of the social traffic is going to be on Facebook. But you can also look at as, okay, for people that are sharing content, what are they sharing? So you can see what pages they're actually sharing on their site and what pages that they're going to. And you can see, so you can see here, for example, where's the Texas Heroes page? Here's your teacher page. And you've got, actually it's not the number that I was thinking. Oh yeah, so all these are in the 4-minute, or like 4 pages a session, so the home page is like four pages a session. That means they're visiting at least 4 different pages. Yeah, so a lot of these ones for the Texas Heroes and the Teacher Home Loans, higher engagement than some of these other ones. So again, you can just see what's actually working as far as your social media. What are people actually consuming? All right, moving along. I know I told you this is going to be a lot. All right, let's just keep going. Campaigns. So if you are able to hook in your email marketing campaign or email marketing with Google Analytics, it will show up here. So you can see like newsletters. So this is actually our own company. So you can see August Insights, October Insights, June, September. So these are all our newsletter. And then you can see all of your campaigns, how all your campaigns are working. So here's our remarketing ads, here are search ads. This is a webinar, email, newsletter for nonprofits. So for any campaign that's hitting your website, be it email, be it ads, be it whatever, you can all monitor it here under all campaigns. But you do have to tell all of these things and make sure that it's all tracking correctly, which can be a challenge. Behavior. We're going to zoom through this because I've already been talking way too long. So I just want to show you a couple of reports here that I find very, very useful. I want to talk about events and then we're going to be done. So this is just what are the top pages on your site, really easy, and just see what's really working and why is it working. One thing I do want to talk about though is click on EN. This is basically English for this client. This is not TSHAC. And once you click on that, you see what is called the next page path. Once you click on this button here called Navigation Summary. So click on the home page under that, click on Navigation Summary. I have to kind of tell you how to get there because it's hard to get there. But once you get there, you can see on the home page what links do they click, which is really useful information. So if you're thinking what we really want people to do is click on this donation button, or we really want people to learn about this new thing that we're doing, but nobody's actually doing that when they get the home page, that's really useful. It may mean that you need a redesign. It may mean you need to change your layout, your user experience on the home page to make it a lot better to what people need. And events. So this is, and I promise, I know I've overwhelmed you. You're going to get these slides for a Thursday night. I really respect all of you for sticking with me for this long, but this is super important because I think a lot of you, it's usually when I get to this slide, it's like at the very end, and then people are like, you have to send me more information about this. So event, think of an event as basically Google Analytics trying to deal with something that's not a web page. So because if you open up a web page, there's code on it. But if you click on a PDF, there's no code in a PDF. So if you click on a PDF, if you click on an external link, so if you click on a link that heads off-site, if you click on an email, like mail to whatever, if you view a video, and there is even phone tracking down here that's available now, if you have like call tracking numbers. So you can track all of these through events. The tricky thing about this is that you do need custom code on your website to do this. Yes?
So is it like JavaScript event listeners, like that sort of thing? You said you weren't a developer, sorry.
Well, no. The way that it works is that we have made a really easy snippet of code if you put Google Tag Manager on a website, and we could probably, it's just like a couple of steps. It takes me about 10 minutes, and all I have to do is just create something in the container. But it does take extra code to put it on your site. My biggest complaint with Google Analytics, other than their ugly dashboards, is the fact that they just don't have something default for people tracking PDFs. And give me the URL. They just clicked on it, give me the URL, and like then it's a PDF download or something. And I would love that. But they don't do that. They don't do that default, which I think is dumb. But there's all sorts of information that you can see there. So the easiest things to do by default that we just have like basically create a Google Tag Manager container and then just upload it and then just blast it out, and it works on pretty much every single site. Or outbound links, so you click on a link and go off site, email and file downloads. So if you want to figure out how to do that, I can help you do that afterwards. So I don't have any freebies, so this will be my freebie. How about that? I didn't bring any freebies with me, so this will be my freebie. So recap, I think we already kind of went through all of this, what it is, terminology, how to navigate it, and looked at a lot of reports, which I'm sure all of you are going to remember after you leave. So we have lots of tools and training on our website, mindycitizen.com/tools, including I wrote a little article also about how to do your own keyword research to find out how people are looking for you, how to set up destination goals, which I talked about. We also have all sorts of insights, and we transform nonprofits, this thing that I brought with me. I brought these with me. Our marketing director asked me to do that, so I could say, people pick them up, so please do. So I can tell her that she printed them out for me, and then people actually pick them up. So thank you very much. Does anyone have any other questions?
Yes, please, stay for questions if there are any questions. I wrote one down myself. Okay, so it sounded like 10% is a good conversion rate.
Oh no, that's way high. That is super high. So
what's a good conversion rate?
most people, to be honest, try to aim at about 2.
Okay.
2 to 3. If you get 2 to 3, you're doing great. 10, that was me bragging, really. And basically they're just super geared up when they get to the site, and it's a metric that makes me look good. So, but really, if you can get about 2 to 3%, and donations, it's really hard because, like, what's a great bounce rate? It matters. And so it depends on the kind of nonprofit. It depends on the competition. It depends on how great your nonprofit is and how great your site is and all the rest of it. So I hate to say how great your nonprofit is. I'm not one to judge that, but there's just a lot of factors. It's hard to say. But yeah, normally about 2 to 3% would be great.
I did have feedback that you said social, what works on social.
Yes, I want to hear.
Well, no, I mean, it's terrible and everybody already knows this, but we have a client that has patient stories and we post those as blog posts on the Facebook page. And we did a couple of them, and then the patient was particularly attractive, and that one had like 4 times the amount of traffic. So we thought that was hilarious, but
that's actionable. Make attractive patients. That's right. That is something actionable right there. It's hysterical.
But yeah, social stuff. People can definitely tell when you're being authentic and you're not. So it's like, I feel like that's
which is like completely like we got to try really hard to be authentic. So how do you actually pull that off?
Yeah.
So.
Did I see one of the slides? Is Pinterest second in terms of?
Maybe for that site, it's usually pretty low. Yeah, it's usually really, really low. So I mean, the big 3-pack at the top are going to be, Facebook's always not always, but often. And then like, usually LinkedIn is a good second, LinkedIn, and then sometimes Twitter, though usually in nonprofit space it matters. So.
Yeah, I think people focus on Facebook because it's a higher, the age demographic is older, skews older, and those are the kind of people that donate. So it's like cause and effect,
Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
Question around
Yes.
just training.
Mhm.
So I always get asked, I want to learn about Google Analytics. Should I take the certification? And if that's over my head, is there somewhere else I should start? And I'm always at a loss because I'm just very super curious. And so I'm always
Sure.
I Google the crap out of Google Analytics.
Yeah.
Like, what does this mean? But is there anything that you've seen that's actually a really great resource for people who are trying to get in it, and then also like is it important to be certified if you're planning on doing this as a job?
If you're in my position where I'm a paid consultant, Sure. If you're a client, there's no reason for them to do that. And it's going to, yeah, there's really no reason for them to do that. I would say Google Analytics does have some pretty good videos that you can go through to try to learn a lot of things. I would definitely, instead of like doing the text videos, I would definitely use like YouTube and do videos. I would start there. It's free. I mean, some of the stuff, we have a Lynda account, and so we have some training in Lynda, which sometimes can be pretty good. And so, but you know, not everybody has Lynda. But I would start at YouTube simply because it's free. And at Google, I mean, you know, Google has a lot of stuff there. Thank you very much.
And if you haven't signed in, please sign in.
When we signed in, there were 2 other names.
So how about, okay, so, and I was going to kind of jump on this until everybody else is gone and I knew that y'all wanted to do this. If you would like, because y'all have been very kind and very attentive, and I will do this for free, I will try to put something together to be a really easy thing. I should have done this for a company a long time ago, just for creating a Google Tag Manager container and then just importing, and I'll just give you the file that you just import the code.
Oh, well, I think,
Yeah, so
I don't want to make you do extra work because I think our developers have done that on PDFs.
I think the problem that we have is our clients.
Can I come sit over here? I
Yes.
feel very distant.
I think our problem is that our clients can't afford to do a true Google Analytics consulting, right? So they come to us and we start talking to them and we talk to them about how important data is. for you.
Yeah.
Like, we can't really be a good partner of yours unless we're looking at data. So then we go in and we're like, okay, we have 5 hours, let's just track these few things. So we do like the UTM code, put it on, we put it on event, on click, on a URL, or our developers will do JavaScript to like constantly embed it because we work with software that we can't get into the shell. So we have to like actually tell it, okay, if it's this URL, just embed this code. And then our clients see the value, and then they're like, all right, we want to do this across the board. And so then we're told, okay, well, let's do Google Tag Manager, but we have only one person who kind of knows about it. So I think the question is like, Adam.
Oh.
Yeah, so we work with like New York Public Library, and they're
Oh, wow.
extremely well versed.
I should try to turn this off from here.
I've left, I'm sorry.
But I think that's been like a eye-opener for us, like how advanced, like some nonprofits are really like, you said the Google 360. Actually, I have clients that have that.
Oh, really? Your public library, I think, might actually have that.
I think there might be one of them,
Yeah.
and then other. So my battle is always, what's best practice? Should everyone use Google Tag Manager? Like the minute we say we're gonna start tracking your PDFs, we should be setting up Google Tag Manager for them, or is it worth just doing the like low maintenance? I mean, unfortunately, a developer has to do it, and then if they actually see the benefit going into Google Tag Manager.
The reason why so we decided, and this is when